When I run the application with the event handler in place and click on the profile picture is shown in a square instead of a circle. And when I click it again, it goes back to the circle. An essential feature, if you ask me. Here's the circle CSS class that is responsible for turning the picture into a circle. In the onClick event handler, I change the value of the CSS class property. It is used to set the CSS class attribute of the img tag. The attribute's value consists of two statics, img responsive and account photo, and one is the value of the property. Apparently, whenever I change the value of the property in my code, the CSS class of the img tag is automatically updated. The class attribute of the img tag is data bound to the CSS class property. One-way data binding is used here. That means that the UI element will automatically update when the property changes, but not the other way around. Let's run again and open the F12 tools of the browser. When I go to the Network tab, there is no traffic between the browser and the client when I click the image. And that's because the change is completely handled in the browser. Or when you use Blazor's server-side hosting model, the server handles the changes via the SignalR connection between the server and the browser. In that case, you will see a message going back and forth over the WebSockets connection. Whatever hosting model you use, there's something very smart going on. Let's inspect the image tag and click on it a few times. There is no page refresh. In fact, the page remains completely static, except for the circle CSS class that appears and disappears. That's because Blazor has a Diff mechanism in place. It quickly builds the object model of the new page without actually rendering it, and compares it to the old one. It will then just apply the differences to the existing rendered page. Because of this, UI updates are very efficient, because the browser doesn't have to build a complete page every time something changes, and users get the feeling they are working in a desktop application. A typical effect of a single page application. The updating mechanism even does its work when navigating to a different page. All existing UI, such as everything that is in the layout page, won't be re-rendered. Most of the time, the diff mechanism is triggered automatically when the state of a component changes, and that simply means when a field or property gets a new value. If somehow Blazor cannot detect a change by itself, when the state is changed indirectly, we can force the diff mechanism to go to work by calling state has changed, but normally this call isn't needed. We're looking at the powerful render fragments next.